Okay, well, we're going to talk about the fall of the Berlin Wall today. This took place around November of 1989, and it's commonly cited as the start of the end of the Cold War. Briefly, we have to say that the Berlin Wall was built in 1961 after the Berlin crisis. Since this point, it's been heavily guarded by troops, and anybody who attempts to penetrate the wall has been shot and generally killed. So the fall of the Berlin Wall can be attributed to Mikhail Gorbachev, who was the leader of the Soviet Union at the time the Berlin Wall fell. When he came into power, essentially he lessened Soviet domination over satellite states, which led to issues within East Germany. Once Gorbachev lessened the restrictions over satellite states, in East Germany there was a lot of issues. For example, there were increased immigration to the west, there was a lot of protests labeled the Peaceful Revolution, and to deal with this, the East German government implemented a policy of open border crossing, although it wasn't effective immediately. Even with this, though, a German official accidentally announced that it would be effective immediately, and this sparked the fall of the Berlin Wall. It started on November 9th, and it lasted for days up to weeks, depending on which part of the wall you were on. Funnily enough, there was a lot of opposition to this event. For example, Margaret Thatcher, who was the Prime Minister of the UK at this time, pleaded with Gorbachev to intervene and stop this from happening, but he didn't, of course. And even though she thought it would destabilize the region, it led to Germany's unification on October 3rd, 1990. As previously stated, this is generally cited as the start of the end of the Cold War. And this is essentially because even though Margaret Thatcher pleaded, Gorbachev did not intervene. He allowed this to happen and eventually allowed self-determination to take place. So he didn't do what has been done previously, such as in the Hungarian Revolution, where he sent in the tanks, well, not him specifically, but where the Soviets sent in the tanks and enforced their sphere of influence. This allowed satellite states to go free, which would eventually, as we see, end the Cold War. Okay guys, that's basically it from me. Thank you for listening. Mr. Jeff, hope it's okay.